Alrighty guys, thank you for sticking around. End of day webinar for today. It is October 25th, 2017. We had two trades we covered today, a couple of ideas I threw out that I didn't trade, and a few setups to talk about that are going to be helpful going forward to tomorrow. So starting with BONT, as you guys know, it was a bit of a slow start today, which has been the case for a few days this week, you know, kind of sitting for the first 15-20 minutes. There was some stuff moving in the morning, but there wasn't a lot of what I would call quality setups. So one thing that you'll probably take away from my trading this morning was not trying to jump in anything too early, not getting too excited about, ATOS was one that I kind of missed a short on, but there's a few things shuffling around, nothing too crazy, nothing really setting up what I would call, an A+ setup. And BONT was on my radar. Obviously, once it started to consolidate up here, it looked like it was going to flag, and then it broke down. I started to get interested again in BONT when it sort of finally started to find some support down here. And as you guys know, I rarely ever trade like penny stocks, like sub-dollar stocks. It's really quite rare for me. But this is one of those cases where the setup was really there. I believe that the way that this stock set up had a great opportunity for shorts to really get trapped down here. And it just, to me, as the volume started to come in over 90 to 92, I just really like this for a VWAP reclaim and a big squeeze. And we've also seen some other big moves lately from sub-dollar stocks like ATOS. So I thought we'd go ahead and try to ride that momentum. So this was a good little setup, guys. The buy, to be honest, my buy on it was a little bit late. I would have liked to get in ideally between 92 and 94, but for those of you guys who are watching the screen share, and I'm actually going to take the time tonight to render the video and edit it so you can go back over the live trade and hear my commentary as I traded it. But as it popped over 96, I was kind of like, I was like, crap, because I knew I wanted to get long at that point, but I didn't want to chase it. So basically what I did was, once it popped over 96, I threw a bid down at 0.952. So with these penny stocks, when they're sub $1, there's extra decimal places. There's 4 places in the decimal instead of 2. So you can trade in between the pennies. So I got filled at 0.952. And I put that out in chat and over the screen share. And from there, there was a few minutes where it traded at and below my entry. So there's plenty of time to get involved if you wanted to take the trade. I didn't have to chase it. Could have got filled in the bid right after. And really, it just didn't take long for volume to come in. It totally exploded right out of the gate. I did take some shares off pretty early. I took some off at 10. Let's see here. Back to my order log. I took some off at 102 and 107. So right away into the momentum, as people are chasing it up or covering their shorts, just take advantage of that momentum. And obviously not removing from the offer, adding liquidity on the way out, letting people, dishing out my shares to those that are covering and those that are chasing it long. So, in this case, I think a lot of people that have a good eye for stocks and are experienced, they'll be long a lot earlier than people who just see it going through 102 and whatever they're using to buy their stocks, or they're just chasing momentum or whatever it is, they're way behind us. So using that momentum as people chase it up to sell into them is a nice way to really mitigate the risk on your trade and just get some profit locked in nice and early. So first, I guess around 1/3, I sold at 102 to 107. And then from there, we actually got, here's the trade. From there, we got a nice little pop. I sold some at 112. And I had an order at 118, and it didn't actually fill all the way, but it got a good chunk filled at 118. I was holding because I thought we'd get a higher low and potentially a nice little parabolic towards my final target, which was 125. But it just didn't quite get there. Then it started to roll over, and basically definitely could have taken a sell here at 102. To me, this is actually a 5-minute cup inverted. So this is actually a sell signal through 102. But I just wanted to give it a little chance. I thought it might dip down and then reclaim, which it actually did. But unfortunately, it dipped down a little too much, and I stopped out the rest for a small gain at 97. So overall, that was a really nice trade, guys. Just one shot, one kill. BONT was the first and only trade this morning, and the 4th trade I took this week. Actually, that was the third trade. The fourth was LPTH, which I'll cover next. And as you can see, guys, it did reclaim over lunch. I'll throw one thing out there. I did have an idea, and I didn't trade on this idea, but I mentioned just before I left for lunch break at 12 that I actually liked this chart. See, once it like dipped below VWAP here and below support, and then tried again and reclaimed, I actually like this for a dip buy at 106, risk 99. 7-cent risk. I like that setup for a dip buy, and it worked really well. Wish I'd taken it, but I didn't. The only trades that I post on the website as our recent trades are ones that I actually believe in, put my money behind, traded them myself. To me, I see a lot of people posting stuff on Twitter like they put news on BONT, and that's supposed to be some kind of an alert that people can trade off of. I don't think so. I think that the only thing that's worthwhile for me to give, detailed entries and exits on are trades that I believe in enough that I'm putting my own money behind them, and I'm trading them right alongside you guys. So although I like the idea of a dip buy at 106, and you can definitely take those ideas and trade off them if you want, I didn't trade it myself. So I'm just letting you know that was an idea that I had that I didn't trade. Second trade today was LPTH. Another good setup, guys. Like, this was a clean chart. Now the problem with this one was the volume profile was a little bit low. This was another long trade. Had a big rip up in the morning, and then we found a lot of support at 325. And I didn't really get interested in it until we started to reclaim 30. So we kind of like consolidate. You can see this lower high. There's actually a bit of a flag here, you can see. See this flag right here? That was kind of the idea. Was if we could get in around 33 to 35, and I was a little late, unfortunately. It kind of started to go without me, and then I made a decision that I was going to dip buy it. So my dip buys on this were... look, I identified the flag before the breakout, but because of the low volume, I didn't want to take it until I saw it break out. So what I did was I waited for the breakout, bought half my position at 37, half of it at 33 for a 35 average, risk 10 cents. If you want to scroll up and chat, you can see the way I planned it out there. And then we just had a higher low, and it started to move up, and it looked really good. But again, I was a little concerned about the volume profile. It's a pretty low volume in the middle of the day, which is not unusual, but it didn't really pick up a whole lot. See how the volume is kind of low here? This is something that I pay attention to, especially in my long trades, is that you want your long trades to really be coupled by supporting volume. And what you'll notice on like dry ships, for example, is look at the volume as it started to break out, right? Now, granted, dry ships was a much better setup for a few reasons. One is because it's a multiple time frame breakout, which if you go in the members portal and look at video lesson number 2, or if I decide to post this on YouTube, which I haven't been posting the majority of my stuff on YouTube, but if I do post this one on YouTube, if you're watching as a subscriber to our YouTube channel, if you sign up for our mailing list on the website, we will send you automatically the video lesson that covers this exact setup that led to this massive breakout and gap fill on dry ships. Which is, it's a multiple time frame breakout pattern. You can see the 15-minute chart broke out through 35, hourly chart, big cup and handle, daily chart, big breakout level. And on the most important thing is on the daily, the target on this was the gap filled to 565. It pretty much filled the entire gap. So with LPTH, we got a couple of targets, and it wasn't a very exciting trade, but we pulled a few bucks out of it, guys. I got a 35 average. I was risking 10 cents. My goal was to get this towards 55 to 70, where there's some daily chart resistance to watch out for up there. I actually ended up selling a third pretty quick because, again, the volume profile threw me off. I wasn't super confident in the follow-through based on the volume. So I sold, as you can see here, I basically sold a third of my position at 41, a third at 46, and the last chunk, probably should have sold it at 35, but I took it off at 33. So a small gain overall on that one. But between the two trades, guys, a pretty decent day out there. Now, the unfortunate thing is dry ships was on my radar early today because I got a nice trade on that one earlier this week. And it was really starting to pick up. That was TRXC short. Where's dry ships? Here we are. Yeah, we had a nice little trade in dry ships earlier this week on the long side. And it's been on my radar for the last couple of days. I've been watching because I did my technical research on this one night. I saw the big gap in the daily. I really liked it for a setup if it could get there. I was hoping that this was the day where it would start to shape up. And we got that one trade in the morning, and then it didn't set up again in the afternoon, so I didn't get a trigger for a trade here. And then it kind of came off the radar sort of yesterday because it didn't do much. But this morning, I mentioned it in the morning watch list because it was coming up over 4 again, and I put a marker at 435 as an area to watch. This is the unfortunate thing, is I was actually more focused on BONT and LPTH. I just wasn't, unfortunately, just wasn't paying attention when it broke through 35. So from there, I was looking for any other setup I could get. I was looking to join this one somewhere over 460, and I mentioned the possibility of a dip buy at 60, but I really don't just buy dips. I really do have a system that I use for my long setups that which didn't trigger over 460. It triggered back here 100% though. So disappointing miss, but I think there's more action to come on dry ship. So given the volatility we saw today, and you can see that it filled the gap and it's completely made its way all the way back to 490 breakout level. There might be something on for us on this one at some point tomorrow, so we'll keep it on watch just in case. Anyways, guys, not a bad start to the week. 4 trades, 4 wins, 3 longs, 1 short. BONT would have been a short for me today. I had a signal on it late day, or I'll say after 2 p.m. But unfortunately at that point, a very rare situation where TradeZero actually ran out of shorts. I could have had them if I borrowed it in the morning, but I didn't like it short in the morning. I was bullish on the patterns, so yeah, I had to leave that one behind. So yeah, guys, any questions at all before we call it a day? I got a few minutes here. If you have anything for me, I'll just wait and see. So this was another really good one, 15-cent risk and final exit at 266. So these are the types of trades that I can look at and say, you know, wow, there's a lot of potential for the reward profile versus the risk. And it's giving me a chart pattern setup that matches my criteria, so I pull the trigger. You know, it's basically at the end of the day, it's either it's a trade that I'll take that matches my criteria, that's a buy or a sell or a short, or there's no trade at all. And I did a little poll today. I was really interested to hear what the results would be, because recently I got some feedback that you know, I give a lot of trade ideas, long and short, but I mostly the majority of them I trade on the short side. Got some feedback that some of you guys prefer to see me trade also on the long side. So instead of just giving the ideas out, I've been trading the long trades with you as well. So far this week, actually 3 long trades. And it would have been another short here on BONT, but I didn't have the borrows. But hopefully you guys are enjoying being able to play both sides a bit more. I mean, I give the ideas and I would usually say, like, you know, I like this long with a stop here and here. I just didn't really trade them as often because I tend to take more size on the short side. But no, it's been fun. It's been a good market for going long. So if the setups and triggers are there, I'll play them with you guys and I'll continue to dish out the best trade ideas I can find. So, guys, before we wrap it up, is there any other questions? Anything else I can help with? Hope you guys have a great evening. Congratulations on the great trades this week, guys. Let's keep it up tomorrow, and we'll see you in the morning.